Hi everybody, very good evening to you. Hope you are doing good and comfortable. And this is Don Sherman coming out to you live all the way from Melbourne, Australia. And this is going to be a live telecast to you. And if you're watching the recording of this video, very good evening and good morning wherever you are, and good afternoon any part of the world. And this is something interesting that I love to do it on this platform, in the sense like on the social media, because meeting some lovely people and having chat and enjoying a time in this lockdown period. So if I say the lockdown period right here in Melbourne, we are going through with the lockdown, and I hope that some of the parts of the world is also going through a lockdown. But apart from that, in Sri Lanka, I believe that the lockdown was over and the gates are open. But my humble and accurate request is for you to be safe and not to engage in any close contacts with anyone, because still the pandemic situation is going through across the world and across the countries, and you got to be very careful, and you know what exactly to be done, and take care of yourself. And yes, tonight chat is something interesting, and of course in the sense like we have a special guest tonight. So I'm getting that guest into the chat. Let me see whether I can get that one. Right, I'm gonna get this personality. He's none other than Clifford Richard. Clifford Richard is a multitasker and, of course, a very talented gentleman who's a compeer MC and a newscaster, and, of course, an actor and a wonderful personality. Ladies and gentlemen, a very good evening, and please welcome Mr. Clifford Richard. Good evening.
Thank you. Good evening. Where's your applause?
Awesome, awesome. What a wonderful moment, Cliff, to meet up like this. Normally, we meet up at the back of the stage or back of the studio or dark corner of the studio. And sometimes you go in, whereas I come in, or maybe you have hosted me in various events. So how are you doing today? How is everything with you?
Sometimes both of us go on stage at the same time. First of all, thank you very much for inviting me.
My pleasure, Cliff. My pleasure. If you can read or put the volume up a little, or maybe come a bit closer to the camera, that would be ideal. Yeah, if you can come a bit closer to the camera and get your chair. Yes, excellent. So I was just asking, how are you doing these days? And tell me something, the day-to-day routine these days, Cliff.
Well, being quite busy, and well, we are adjusting to the new normal. As you mentioned in the introduction, the country opened, of course, under restrictions. And yeah, so with regard to my activities, I've been more inclined towards the teaching of yoga, and also a little bit of recordings, and nothing happening entertainment-wise. Nothing in the sense, no public gatherings, as you know, same as your part of the world. So yeah, hoping that things will normalize soon. Getting warm.
All right. Now, Cliff, to get you on a weekend, especially on a Saturday, is a nightmare. I know that it's not easy to get you on a Saturday because you've been booked. I mean, if I see your calendar, if I see your the diary or the phone memory, if I see, you've been booked for many, many days, many weeks. Now, I know that a freelancer like you now being open with your calendar. Now, tell me how you manage with these days and how you are going through with the day-to-day part. I want to ask you the what do you call the yoga scenario in a different way. But apart from you're losing your other entertainment work, now tell me something about it and how you cope up with that.
Yeah. So first of all, I will send you my account number, and I'll be most thankful if you can send me some dollars, Aussie dollars. Rates are going up, you know.
Yeah.
But, the thing is, how I look at it is, there are things within your control, and there are things that are beyond your control, right? So this pandemic is, and the aftershocks of the pandemic is something that is beyond your control. So you need to focus on things that are within your control and try to maximize on what is available within your perimeter. So that's exactly what I do. So no point in just grumbling about what is not available. And if even you, if you were to list out what you missed or what you're missing right now, this, that, and the other, this show, that show, and the other. So it's going to be a hell of a mental trauma for you, right? So forget about what cannot be done, right? So my focus is to focus on things that can be done right now. So by that way, you bring down your mental stress, and also you are able to be more productive. So that's how I operate.
Awesome, Cliff. Awesome. You gave a bit of a positivity, like I had the conversation with Corinne the other day, and she was adding so much of value to the viewers and the people who joined with the live video, and even we got very good response after the video. Now, before we go into the further of your other things, I want to get some information about your background, because I know that you are a very talented and versatile personality. Now, how did you get this mixed talent, or rather the things that you doing various avenues, various trades? Now, tell me your school days and how you came as a profession into this trade.
Yeah. So during my school days, I was a very shy and a backward person. But of course, I used to sing. That's the only thing I did. I was good at singing, and never into public speaking or comparing, nothing. So I was like shy, backward. So that was how I was at school. But I used to sing. I used to take part in many singing competitions, talent competitions during school, and I used to win almost all. So that was my school days, and thereafter I entered campus, University of Peradeniya, and there too I was engaged in organizing musical shows, any kind of end of the year events. I was involved in organizing and also singing as well. So that was kind of the start of the music scene. But I'm not a trained singer, nor am I a trained speaker. So it's God-given talent.
Amazing, amazing. Now, how do you get the opening to the professional stage or the television or so on?
Okay. After leaving school, before entering campus, we had a bit of time. There were problems in the country, and we were kind of idling for a while. So I teamed up with one of my friends, one of my schoolmates. He's actually a professor now. He's a professor in urology. He's Professor Srinath Chandrasekhar. So both of us teamed up and we formed a duo. So as a duo, we used to perform for weddings, small parties, etc., at hotels. So that was how I started music with Srinath. And then thereafter, subsequently, after passing out from campus, I told a friend of mine that I would like to join the radio. His former director, police band, uh, retired DIG Lancelot Pereira, right? We all know Lancelot Pereira from the police band. So he's the one who gave me this initial introduction to Mr. Eric Fernando, the then Director General Officer BC, and I went for a screen test. And then I was selected to be a radio presenter. Of course, the singing part was going on simultaneously. And while being on radio, I applied for a newscaster position at ITN, right? So then, whilst being on radio, I got the opportunity to read news and also do programs on ITN. And right now, of course, I'm attached to Rupawahini. So little by little, my horizon started spreading and ventured into more and more different things, like even comparing. Came by accident because I went to sing in Candy and there was no presenter, and that lady who organized the show or was in charge of the band, Mrs. Indrani Vijayasundara, the leader of Friends in Harmony, she said, Clifford, there is no presenter. You can do it, Netherkilek. I said, so I couldn't refuse. I was put on the spot, couldn't refuse. So with reluctance, I accepted because I had no choice. And then I did it. And people said, after the show, people said, you did a good job. So that's actually the stepping stone or the start of my presenting career, and thereafter radio, TV, etc. So it's been it's been a very adventurous journey, and I've been enjoying it because the most important thing is to enjoy what you do, right? Then of course that whatever that job doesn't become a success, and I'm sure you too share the same passion because your culinary art and also your entertainment, you can see it in your face that you enjoy what you do. That's what has made you also successful down under and even here.
Amazing, Cliff. While listening to your story, I'm definitely getting my links into that as well, where how I started things, because people identified how you are good at and how you are incorporate with the public gatherings, especially the event organizers and media personalities and so on, and advertising agencies and so on. Now, I know that you are very good in acting as well. Have you acted any dramas or TV series or any movies or anything like that? This may be your stepping.
I have acted in actually one film of Udekanta Varnasurya's. It was like a film. I forget the name also. Anyway, it was just a small part. But so many people ask this question. But I don't know. I feel that I'm a good actor because I do a lot of acts on stage.
Yes, that's
I
right.
don't know. So it all depends on fate, your destiny.
Correct. Now, when you say on the stage acts and the different character imitations that you do, you wouldn't mind to dress up for a lady and do some acting on the stage, on the showground, right? You wouldn't mind it.
Yeah. It all depends. It all depends how capable you are in entertaining the crowd, right? So I don't believe in this straightforward going to the podium or just standing in one place and singing. So that that I think anyone can do, right? So if you feel that you have extra or additional ammunition in you that can bring out the best in you, why not use it? So all this we do is to entertain the people watching us or listening to us. So and also what I believe is when you do something good, when you do something good, you know that the word of mouth is worth than much more than spending huge amounts of dollars or rupees on advertising. Right now, there are people who advertise a lot, right? So, what I believe is the best advertisement is do a job well, and that is an advertisement because people talk, and then from one to another, it is getting connected, right? So they always say, there's this guy who did whatever at this program, so shall we get him, right? So this is marketing. This is marketing, and also uh, it's primarily not marketing, but trying to do your best, bring out the best, be different, innovative, and as a result, you are in fact indirectly marketing yourself.
You're absolutely correct. You're giving the right points. Who's watching us this program, even a young one who can come out on the spotlight and being in the limelight for hours or ages or maybe years. Likewise, you do. Now, Cliff, now when you're coming to the earliest stage to up to now, I just like to know that when I listen to you and see your capacity and especially your vocabulary, were you from a English background family, or how did you get to this vocabulary? Were you learn and train or anything like that? I just like to get that values on you.
Okay, I went to Trinity College, but my medium was Sinhala. I studied in the Sinhala medium. Actually, the start of you know talking proper English
Yeah,
happened when I joined SLB. So that was like a huge encyclopedia in
yeah.
learning English. hello, you have a visitor.
You have a friend here. He wants to come and see and go. All right, go ahead.
Right. So joining SLBC was a great experience because I had the privilege of working under a lot of knowledgeable people, right? So what I believe is more than reading thousands of books, right? It's good to learn from people who know more than you. Okay, so that's exactly what I did. After every program, after every radio program, after every TV program, I used to call my bosses, my superiors, and I asked, how did I fare? Right. So then they tell you, because when they know that you are open to criticism, they tell you, Clifford, my goodness, what did you say? This word was wrong, that word was wrong, your tie was cockeyed, and so many criticisms were leveled against me. And I used to ask them, like after every news bulletin, I used to call my bosses, and they tell me, right? In fact, even even today, I remember with great gratitude Noeline Hunter, right? It's very interesting. When I call Noeline, for, let's say for something or the other. Now during the conversation, it's very interesting. If I mispronounce a word, even today, she would say, Clifford, what did you say? Say that again. Then I say it again. No, 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 no. That's not the way. That's not the way to pronounce this word, right? This is the way to pronounce this word. And I'm really thankful to all my seniors, including Noel Honta. I mean, if I go to mention names, this program won't be enough. So that is exactly how I learned. Because if you are not open to criticism, if you're not open to criticism, then people won't tell you. People will be laughing at you. Ayyo, raja maranwana killa hina venum, right? Right. But if people know that you're open to criticism, they'll come and tell you, Clifford, I think the the way you said it or the word that you pronounced is wrong, right? So why don't you check it? So this is the way you should learn. This is the way you should. Is the easiest way. Of course, you can go for a course and you can go through the material, blah blah blah, and learn. But why go through all that hassle when you have people around you, right, who are knowledgeable? When you have people around you who are more experienced, learn from them. Nothing wrong. So I still learn, and I know that I will continue to learn, and that's how you will improve yourself. Definitely.
Awesome, Cliff. The values that you're adding is really good because your humbleness and your friendly attitude, and you never give up attitude as well. That you always having a very good positive attitude throughout the industry. I know that you are very humble and you never get angry in any chance. I never seen you coming with all the happy face. Hina moon you never get upset, or you never take into your consideration that you are a popular guy and you're the one who's coming on the TV. You're always with a smile.
ඇංග්‍රි නම් නෝනගෙන් අහලා බලන්න. නෝනන් කියයි ආපෝ ටීවී එකකම හිටියට ගෙදර නම් බයිනවා කියලා. No, actually,
You spot.
actually, this is in other words, it's a act that we do on stage, right? Make a රඟපෑමක්, right? So at the කියන්න ඕනේ.
Correct.
Now let's say if I'm like tired, uh, not feeling like doing anything, sleepy, blah blah, එහෙම වෙන්න පුළුවන්. But let's say if I have an event now, and if I'm to go on stage, right? So actually I'm feeling low and down, right? Right. Now let's say I have to go on stage, right? So you have to put that act on and then get on stage, right? Stage right? So when you're off stage, you can be whatever, but when you go on stage, right, you have to remember people are looking at you. All eyes are on you, right? Whether you're on TV or you're on stage, right? If you're on radio, people are listening to what you're saying, right? So radio, it doesn't matter, right? Even if you're in front of the mic, bare body, it doesn't matter because people don't see you, so they only hear your voice. But when you're on TV, when you're on stage, people see you, right? So you have to be presentable, and you have to be pleasant, and even if you have even if you're having problems, blah blah, if you're uh, angry, sad, whatever. So those things do not matter, right? So people don't care, right? Whether you are sad or angry or whatever. People have come there for a purpose. Let's say they've come for a musical show, right? So if they have come for a musical show, just because I have had a bad day, right? They are not responsible for that because they're paying money. They're paying money and they're seated there. They bought a ticket and they're seated there. They want a good show. So they don't care, what I have gone through today, right? So I have to keep that in mind. I have to keep that in mind. And I'm also getting paid. I'm also getting paid. So I have to do justice to what I'm getting paid. And I also have to do justice to the people who have paid and come for the show, right? So you have to keep that in mind. And then it is then that you are able to bring out your best. And also to add to the earlier topic that we were discussing, you can be the most talented chef, or you can be the most talented singer or the dancer or compere or whatever, right? But that is not the most important thing. The most important thing is how much you are liked by society, right? Now, Don, you're a well-known chef, right? Then let's say if people don't like you, why since they don't like you, they will say, "Nah, Donna hadana kama hariyan. Eka set penne." Right? So it's the same. So it's same for your culinary art. It's the same for singer. Because I'll tell you, since you're into culinary art, one day I got a call many years ago, and it was from a hotel, right? So this lady's trying to book me for an event. So I said I was not available on that day, and so I said I'm not available. Sorry. Can I recommend someone else? And I was about to give someone else the contact of someone else. Then she's telling me over the phone, Clifford, these are food promotion. So we like to have someone who has an idea about food. Right? Now she's telling me that they are keen in getting someone who has an idea about food. Now I just don't have the slightest kind of knowledge about preparation or whatever, right? I just can only eat, right? So that was a good eye opener for me, because the message that you should take is, if someone wants to take you, he will make any excuse to take you or hire you. But if someone does not want to hire you, you may be the best chef or singer or dance or whatever in the world, but that person will not want to take you. He will say, no, right? So no reasons given, but so the important thing is, it's very important to be liked by people, right? That is the most important qualification that you should build in your character, right? To be liked by society, right? So of course you need to have your talent as well, right? Then just because I say I'm liked by society, chef don't know. So you should have your competence as well. Someone has to hire you, right? So it's initial hiring because that person likes you.
Awesome, Cliffy. Like-minded personality goes a long way.
Don't mama kata karna edit that.
You're awesome. No, nothing as such. Now, getting all these flavors and information is really make me sharpen as well. I can remember the times that you recommended me for various events and acts and shows, and always we work together, especially at the Temple Trees. Can you remember good old days when it comes to Christmas functions, where you do the English part of the event, whereas I do the Sinhalese part of the presentation. So.
Even elite society.
That's right. That's right. So if you're watching this program, pardon? Sorry, I missed it.
We were in high company, I said. You and me, we were in high company. Yeah.
You were in very high company. I can remember that. Remember. Now, Cliff, you were mentioning about some distinguished name like Eric Fernando, and when I consider the another great names like Vijay Correa and Arun Das Bandaranaike, all these distinguished presenters and their vocabulary and the knowledge that they carry and everything. Now, looking at you, you are a version of them, and you are coming up, and as you said, you need to grow, never ending the growing. Now tell me honestly, I need to ask this question, not personally but openly. Now when you're coming on this journey, Cliff, were you imitate someone, these distinguished personalities which I mentioned, or you created your own image, or any because I can feel and see that your vocabulary, your tone, tonality, and so much of a generosity when you're handling various events. How do you get the influence, and how do you get the flavors of these prominent figures?
Okay, inspiration wise, Don, presenting inspiration, no, but as an entertainer, I always had this dream, when I was starting, I always had this dream. Okay, I want to go on stage at BMICH. At that time, getting on BMICH stage is like a dream come true. And also, I had this dream, like I want to move around on stage and dance and see Desmond De Silva. Desmond De Silva was one character that I had, in my mind, that I want to move, I want to do those acts that he does. And also Sunil Pereira, Sunil, Ronnie, so all these entertainers, right, who were more than just singers, right? Now you get so many singers, but you get few entertainers, right? How they handle the crowd, how close they got to the audience. So these characters kind of inspired me. And not that I imitated, but I I got inspiration. I drew inspiration from those people, and I also felt that I can, reach out to the audience, whatever audience. It could be a black tie dinner, or it could be a beach party, right? So you have to play the cards accordingly, right? So when you're a presenter, you know that very well. Um, you need to play the cards accordingly, according to the crowd. So I always believe in entertaining the crowd. So it's not a case of me මම දැන් කියන එක අහගන්න ඕගොල්ලෝ වාඩි වෙලා මම කියන එක අහගෙන ඉන්න. That attitude is not in me, right? My attitude is, now if you are the audience, hello කොහොමද, all right, how are you doing, all right? So that's the attitude where I get to the level of the audience, not like you අන පැලෙන්ඩ ගහන කියන දේ අහගෙන ඉන්නවා එහෙම නෙමෙයි, right? So get to the level of the audience, make them like enjoy with them, and also give the relevant messages as well. Enjoy kila. You have to be cautious about the content කියන දේවල් හරියට කියන්න ඕන, නම් ගම හරියට කියන්න ඕන, figures හරියට කියන්න ඕන. So those things are also important. Just because you want to entertain the crowd, you don't make mistakes on the facts and figures and names and all that, right? So those things are also important, but you need to add a little bit of uh, entertainment, light feeling to the audience. Because sometimes most people get tensed. Like president, president, right? Those days I remember when President Rajapaksa. Now these days we don't have much events. President Mahinda Rajapaksa, when he was president, when they say president in an event, everyone is like, even the organizers like stiff, right? So for me, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter whether the president is coming or no one is coming at all, right? I treat all events alike. President, the prime minister, the minister, the principal, right? So I treat all events alike. And also, I always think that for that particular client, now let's say, if you're hiring me, let's say you have a hotel, right? And you're hiring me to, let's say you're opening your hotel, right? So I should keep in mind, maybe your hotel is a small 5-room hotel, right? I should keep in mind that that event is the biggest event in your life, because you're starting your business, right? So it's a 5-room hotel, it's okay, right? But for you it's the biggest, maybe the biggest event in your life. So I should keep that in mind, because I shouldn't have this attitude, අයියෝ මේ පොඩි hotel එක පොඩි කඩයක් අර ඩොන හරින්නේ, right? මම යන්නේ අර කාමර 500ක් අරින ඒවට. එහෙම බෑ. කාමර 5ක්ද 500ද කියන එක අදාළ නැහැ. For an event is an event. So I treat every event every event equally. So I give my fullest concentration to every event equally, immaterial of who's coming and immaterial of the size of the event.
Awesome, Cliffy. And I really like some of the events that I associated with you, and some of the distinguished personalities or the elderly person comes and sit and they expect some serious talk from the compere, where you turn into a very fun environment and very casual environment, yet keeping the class and the bar high. And
Yeah.
I'm definitely sure when it comes to English. Yeah, go ahead.
No, no. What I meant was, though you make it light, you have to kind of give due respect to the people who have come, right? So if the president is there, maybe he's your personal friend, right? But you don't say hello machankila kerne, right? So you address the president has his excellency or her excellency so and so, right? So at that moment he or she may be your personal friend, but in that forum you have to have proper protocol, proper protocol, and that is definitely needed. Yeah.
Correct, absolutely. I can remember some of the occasions that you have addressed and hosted with foreign delegates as well, not only the Sri Lankan president, where the foreign delegates and going on live on television, and so big events I can remember. And especially when it comes to English language, Cliff, I was about to say, in some of the Sri Lankan values also to be added into English language, especially when you're addressing or introducing a Buddhist monk, a leading Buddhist monk. You need to make sure that those lines, those designations to be given in English format without any mistakes. Am I correct?
Yeah, generally, now if you take Buddhist priest names of Buddhist priests, they are like extremely long, right? The Meva Hambena, when we read news care about, like you get a lot of now, especially if you read news on a poe day. If you read news on a poe day, you you get you get a good dose of very tongue twisting names, right? So generally, I believe that not only a Buddhist priest name, any person's name should not be mispronounced.